Today's video is me on the ground doing the work. I ended up at the school board meeting, which Orange County School Board was signing into law Governor Ron DeSantis's Parental Rights Bill. So that's happening today. If you're interested in seeing how that went, please stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to The Conservative Poet with me, Amanya. On this channel, we talk about all things politics, but the most important thing is that we've got souls to save. If you're not familiar with the bill that I'm speaking about, I'm going to go over it with you. I've pulled it up so we can go over it together, but it has that Don't Say Gay bill. If you've heard that bill, Don't Say Gay bill, then this is what we're talking about today. And so we're going to just read a little bit about what the bill actually says. And Governor Ron DeSantis signs the historic bill to protect parental rights in education. Today, Governor Ron DeSantis signed House Bill HB 1557, Parental Rights in Education, which reinforces parents' fundamental rights to make decisions regarding the upbringing of their children. The bill prohibits classroom instruction on sexual orientation or gender ideology in kindergarten through third grade and prohibits instructions that is not age appropriate for students and requires school districts to adopt procedures for notifying parents if there is a change in services from the schools regarding a child's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being. The bill builds on the Parents' Bill of Rights, which was signed into law in Florida last year and is part of the Governor DeSantis's Year of the Parent focus on protecting parental rights in education. Parents' rights have been increasingly under assault around the nation, but in Florida, we stand up for the rights of parents and the fundamental role they play in the education of their children, said Governor Ron DeSantis. Parents have every right to be informed about services offered to their children at school and should be protected from schools using classroom instructions to sexualize their kids as young as 5 years old. So this bill is protecting children from third grade to fifth grade. What is that? 4, 5, 6-year-olds? I think this should have gone all the way to the 12th grade. Those children need protecting as well. I don't think this bill went far enough, in my humble opinion. I think we should have gone all the way to the 12th grade. It didn't go far enough.
Similar to the other three policies, notification of the Classroom Teachers Association was made on the 9th of November. We published on the 13th of November. We had rule development on the 28th of November and presenting it to the board today, the 13th of December.
Thank you. We do have 3 speaker cards, beginning with Clinton McCracken. Clinton, I believe, is speaking on behalf of CTA, but you'll let us know. Good to have you with us.
It's good to be here. Thank you. Good evening, Superintendent Vasquez, Chair Jacobs, and members of the board. I'm Clinton McCracken, President of the Orange County Classroom Teachers Association. I I want to thank our board for your past support of our LGBTQ plus students, teachers, and families. Teachers aren't groomers. They aren't indoctrinators. They didn't take on this difficult career to push students into corners of thinking, inspired by personal agendas. We've seen this in our country, and that it's actually dangerous that this false narrative is pushed. It is unfortunate that we're having to update a district policy to comply with this flawed state law, a law created with the intention to divide us, to stoke fear, and to create culture wars. The truth is, we have amazing teachers who do extraordinary work every day in an environment that becomes more difficult every year. We have teachers who have worked with parents and guardians year after year as collaborators in our students' education, and teachers will continue doing so. They will continue to be heroes in our society, and they know that most people in our community and our country have full faith in the magic they make happen every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McCracken, before you step away, personal opinion, would you have a problem if our teachers were trying to indoctrinate our children?
I would. And it's not happening. And across our country, that's the narrative being
No, I know.
professed.
I just wanted the public to hear that, because I think most of our teachers would have a significant problem if they saw another teacher behaving that way. If they were doing anything to stifle a child's ability to think and learn critical thinking skills and learn that there are differences in the world and not be pigeonholed into only being indoctrinated into one set of beliefs. So
Instead, they're just creating a love of learning. So,
Yeah. exactly, if we could all just focus on a love of learning.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And Member Castellanos. No, we have.
I decided to go and check out the CTA's website just to see what they're all about. And aside from what, I saw with my own eyes, I was like, well, let me go and see what they're all about. So here's their website. So just so everybody can also see. This is who they are. CTA members. They're an organization. They are a political organization. We are the political voice of Orange County Public Schools, teachers, and allied professionals. We speak out with a strong, united voice to raise above the voices of those who profit from our professionals and work to silence the voices of the teachers. Your voice joins the voices of voices of the of who they represent. So throughout this website is a whole bunch of pictures, LGBTQ X, Y, and Z pictures and all of this stuff. So I just didn't think, I recognize this one. This is Linda Stewart. She's a representative. And I've seen a few other people. Anna Escamani, who's another representative, seen her there. Darren Soto, who's another representative, see him there. And all of these people represent the same thing. So I just wanted to share really, really quickly who the CTA is and what they stand for and what they really represent.
The Parental Rights Bill, and I'm sure that's the driver of all this, so I'd like to talk a little about it. I frankly don't understand all the resistance to that bill. It seems to me like it's common sense. Parents are legally responsible for their children up until age 18. They are legally responsible for their children. So I believe issues of culture and that type of thing should be given to the parents and the home environment, and that's where I think that lies. So I'm speaking in favor of implementing the bill as it was written, and I think it's there for a good reason. If you doubt there's a reason for that bill, take a look at the Virginia elections last time. That issue drove the Virginia elections. It elected Governor Youngkin because there was this kind of stuff going on in the schools, and the parents were pushed away at school board meetings and were not allowed to speak. They were not allowed to get involved with their kids, what was going on in their schools, and it literally drove a governor's race. So I think we do need to take it seriously and deal with it in that way. And that's why I'm struggling, or not struggling, I'm urging you to implement this Parental Rights Bill the way it was written and not gloss over it and give it a hand wave. I'm older than probably everybody in this room, as you can see by a little bit of hair, and most of it's gray. That doesn't make me any smarter than anybody in the room, but it does give me a little more life experience. And I went to school many decades ago, and when I went to school, I got science and math and English and history and those basic subjects, and I didn't get any of the culture stuff, and if my behavior was bad, my parents were immediately notified, and it was dealt with when I got home. I think that's still a good way to deal with most of this. I realize there's got to be some discipline in the schools, but that ought to be the general approach. And when there's problems with the child, the parents are immediately notified, whether it's emotional, physical, whatever it is, the parents should be involved. You think we don't have this problem in Florida, but I have been to several meetings where I have heard moms break down in tears whose kids were in public schools in Florida, not Orange County, but other schools in Florida, where the child was, I won't use the word groomed, but the child was brought to school at a very young age, was given a new name, was in different clothes, and they were told, change before you go home so your parent won't know what's going on, basically, and that's what happened. And that's outrageous to me, that parents are kept out. And these mothers that broke down in tears talking about this tried to get involved in their schools and were pushed away. They eventually made such a stink, they got involved and were able to get the children out of the schools. But that's the kind of thing that went on. And then I had kids that went to school, public school as well. We didn't have this problem then either. When I knew what my kids were doing in school, the teachers and administrators made us aware of what was going on with our kids in school, and we would never had a problem that we felt pushed away. So I will just encourage you to adopt the intent of the bill and not work around it with a hand wave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we have one. I don't recognize you with the hat.
Well, how about the head?
There you go, that's better. How are you? Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Madam Chair. Board members, it's an honor to be here. I'm inspired. I'm inspired by what I saw today. Got a new board for 2023, new teachers. I'm inspired with the new parental rights. We need to embrace that. I'm one of those rule of law guys. I'm inspired because it's Christmas time too, one of my favorite times of year. So I encourage everybody to stay focused, stay positive, stay inspired. We have a lot of work to do. These kids are our future. I have 7 grandkids. And I'd take a bullet for any one of them. But I want to encourage you to make sure that these kids get the education they need, and I know you will. I know that the intent's there, but I just want to let you know I appreciate you. You will still see me here, and I'll say Merry Christmas in 3 languages. Merry Christmas in English, Feliz Navidad, and Merry Kalikimaka, Haole Maka Iki Ho, which is Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to everybody here. Thank you.
Remarks that were eloquently spoken by Clinton McCracken. I do value diverse opinions and discussion, and I am pro-parent. I am a parent. I'm pro-teacher. I was a teacher, but what drives my decision-making is doing what is best for all of our children. And I hope that we can get past this and focus now on what's best for all of our students.
Our fellow board members said, according to policies, because we are in charge of governance, it is our duty to carry out the policies that we create based on the statutes that are given to us from the state. But it's my hope that we can find at some point a happy medium in all of this, so that parents won't ever feel like we're against them, or they don't have any rights. That's horrible to think about that in that way. But at the same token, you have to be able to express yourself. You have to be able to discover and explore as a student, because that's how you're able to function as an adult. You have to be able to see different things, hear about different things, so you can make a wise choice about what you're going to do and what you're not going to do.
I agree with Member Castor-Dental. You know, as a board member, I'm here to make policy that isn't just good for our community and our staff, because it's so important. We can't educate our students without high quality educators and staff and bus drivers and administrators and all of them. It takes a village to educate these kids. And we need parents. Parents are part of that equation, and we value our parents. So I just want to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Gallo.
Salomon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's similar to Member Castellano. I'm voting for this because it's not state law, but with the essence of transparency and parent involvement, there's some fairly badly written policy here that doesn't provide very clear guidelines for school districts, and does end up hurting a lot of students in the process. And it is really hard for us to continue to put more bureaucracy on top of that. We are bringing a lot of more forms and government into parents and teachers' lives every day when we pass policies like this. I don't like that. I don't think a lot of parents or teachers like that, but I will be voting for this because it is state law. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to express once again just that I believe this policy is really about bringing common sense and transparency back into education, making sure that parents feel like they have a seat at the table and not being pushed out the door, and saying, you know, we also want to make sure that our teachers have exactly what they need and they're teaching, you know, our kids exactly what they need to be taught. And parents can trust that, teachers trust. It's just it's ensuring that there's trust. Once again, I think many parents feel that there's a trust that's been lost. And I believe that this policy, revising this policy, will just ensure that there's a renewed trust in the system, that teachers know, you know, what's expected of them, parents know what's expected of them, just bringing common sense back to the table. So, thank you.
Thank you, Member Farrant. Member Gallo.
That bill set out to fix wasn't a problem here in Orange County Public Schools. Are there some teachers that don't want parent involvement? There probably are, and when we know about it, we need to address it, because that's not conducive to good learning for our students. And I don't know, I just wanted to share my personal perspective on this, because it's somewhere in the middle of, I think, where most of the board is. I also grew up in a time where, you know, you had black schools and you had white schools, and my middle school year was the first time I was allowed to go to school with black children. In fact, most of the kids in that school were black. And thank goodness we did away with that. Thank goodness I was able to go to school with people with a different skin color, or who would I be today? And when we couldn't, you wouldn't even look at somebody who was disabled or in one of those, you know, other classes, because you didn't even know how to look at them. And now they're prom king and queen. We've come so far. We really have come so far, and there's so much to celebrate, and how much better we are, and how much better our kids are. And we just need to find that balance. And I think we found it in 95% of our schools. And when we don't find it, y'all let us know, okay? With that, it's time to vote. All in favor? No, I need a motion. Is there a motion?
I motion.
You want to discuss it? I kind of thought we did. Fine. So we are on 3.04. We've had public hearing. We've all pretty much, everybody's said something. Is there a motion to approve it? We have a motion by Member Farrant. Do we have a second? I'll second it. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. You saw reluctance. There are things about this bill that cause the board concern. There are vague language that we don't quite know how to interpret it and do it right. But this board is committed to following the law.
Well, friends, there you have it. It is now put into law. At least it's now going to be practiced as law. As you can tell, the women or the board members were not all too happy to do this. All of them went with resistance. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say yes to this only because it's the law, only because the government has told me to do so. So yeah, it went with resistance. And only Alicia Farrant, who is a conservative, by the way, one of the conservatives that we worked with over the summer to get in. And so we're so happy that she's in and she's standing up and she's doing what we voted her to get in to do. So thank you, Alicia, for doing the job. So it was just her and Theresa Chair who passed this thing through. Everybody else, hands were down. Nobody else was, it was like pulling teeth pretty much, but it's done now. And I'm so glad I was in the room to be able to see this. Let me know if this is something you all are interested in. Please share it. Share the video along so other people can see that Orange County is now following the law of the land from our great Governor Ron DeSantis. So thank you all for watching. Share the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. And by the way, we've got souls to save.